desk now. Thank goodness for touch screens. At first I was like, fucking touch screens, but it's really useful actually. Here we go. Here we go. Full screen. Dragon Star and me. Alright, cool. So, with that being said, and all of the shit that's gone on lately, we're back in slot 2 of StevDeScussions, slot 2, belonging to my lovely co-host over here. Dragon Star Productions is back on the show. What's going on, dude? How are things been?
Man, things have been all right. I mean, definitely could have been a lot better, but I think everybody's had a pretty rough couple
Yeah,
of months and years. And
a couple of years.
when 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 did 2020 start?
About 3 years ago, something like
Oh yeah, something.
that.
It's close. Feels like it.
Close enough. So as always, when it comes down to the Stev discussions, we have your discussions from the Stev Discord, as well as the suggestions given to my co-host. My co-host will be answering some of his fans' questions along with me, and the screen changed. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, we needed that. We needed that to
We
happen.
did.
We
We
needed.
did.
Okay.
We did.
Oh, but what you're seeing now, I popped out the player to another window. This is the Stev Discord. If you want to hang out with like fans, come on over to the Stev Discord. We are always hanging out playing Dragon Ball D&D over in Skelly's Dice Rollers, which is actually kind of fun. The Dragon Ball D&D actually made way for the Heroes Resurgence campaign, which you'll see episode 1 soon enough. As soon as I can get episode 1 taken care of on that one. You got a demon, you got a monkey man, you got a half Saiyan, you got an android, and you got a human that apparently wields 2 anchors. We're looking forward to that one. So, come on over to the Steph Discord if you want to just hang out with like fans, discuss, and as I say this, I'm going to be going through these what if suggestions y'all have here, as well as my co-host is going to be throwing some suggestions that y'all posted on his Discord. Was it the Discord or the?
It's on both. It's both in my Discord and on my YouTube. I do a community tab up there. It was kind of late. It's literally only been up for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So like it's not got the most, but the people that did go on there, they have definitely hit me with some pretty good suggestions that I will be actually using in this video. So like they will be shown.
Awesome, awesome, and let me say, congrats on the 7K, bro. Very, very cool
Thank you
there.
so much.
Very
Thank you
cool
so
there.
much. Hey
Oh
man,
man.
I feel like if I got 7K, you deserve freaking 100K. So I
I
mean,
mean, I'm a
yeah,
fifth of
you-
the way there. I'm a fifth of the way to you. So I'm working on it. But for the time being, let's go ahead and move this to the second screen because I have a second screen now. I'm very happy about that.
sounds sounds a lot cooler than my setup right now.
Uh huh.
So
Uh huh. Well, thing is, even with all the moving and stuff that's happened, I may be moving back to the old setup after so long.
hey,
Uh,
it'd be like that.
yep, yep. So, what do you say we start out with the first one on your list there, partner?
Okay, this one's quite different from I think any other posts that I have seen. Like it kind of shocked me off guard. But it was what if future Piccolo was immortal?
What a future Piccolo?
Okay, and it was a comment on my YouTube community post named Whiteblade.
Okay.
He said the idea comes from the DBS manga bonus chapter. Future Gohan is able to make a wish before the Pilaf gang could, and Gohan wishes for Piccolo to become immortal so they don't lose the Dragon Balls. Plus, it could be a last minute thing because he had to think of the wish fast.
You know
So
what?
taking it off of there, so that changes it completely because now, well, Piccolo's
Uh,
Piccolo's immortal.
yeah, and they don't need to use the time machine. Goku would. It would just be one timeline because Goku would die of
Exactly.
the heart virus. So okay.
Uh, Honestly, what this would do, and in my eyes, I see. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have some really cool visuals of Piccolo throwing down with Gohan, helping him train him, maybe possibly training Trunks as well in the timeline. So Trunks is going to be probably stronger, more of a fighter,
I mean, he
and
would
probably
know
going to
how
be trained
the
earlier.
yeah he would know how the Super Saiyan transformation comes about. So
Right.
Trunks getting that Super Saiyan transformation would happen. Probably happen much earlier, and the androids
Exactly.
wouldn't be
Exactly.
as much of an issue.
And if let's say they are an issue,
Oh,
well,
this
they
man case.
they cannot kill Piccolo.
Lay down, buddy.
So without being able to kill Piccolo, that puts in the fact that Piccolo
Lay down.
cannot die. The androids cannot do anything to him.
Mm.
So, and then not to mention Piccolo knows the Malfuba. So
Yeah, he does
What?
know the Mafuba. That's right.
and I figured after so long, he'd be like, I mean, just trap these in a jar.
Mhm.
But also, if you don't want to take it that route, eventually Piccolo would end up getting the Dragon Balls to where everybody else would be revived. They'd probably go to the hyperbolic time chamber eventually, because with Piccolo being alive, that means Kami's also going to be alive. So comes an aspect. It would really just happen the same thing as canon, except more than likely it'll be like Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 with like Trunks or going to Master Super Saiyan in the timeline, like in the time chamber, I mean. But like overall, I don't think that arc is going to change very well. And Boo, they're probably going to die again, but Piccolo can't die, so it's literally just a recycle of Piccolo gets the Dragon Balls and revives everybody.
Would Piccolo know he's immortal? Like,
I mean, I
when would
imagine
he
Gohan would
find
tell him
out that something
when he
has
doesn't
occurred?
die. When he doesn't die,
Yeah.
like
No,
I
I'm
mean,
just thinking about the awkward conversation between him and future Gohan. Like
like
what did you
like
do?
uh I you're Vegeta.
Vegeta.
It was the first wish I thought of.
Oh
Nah,
man.
it's definitely like I said. I see where it could definitely be took a serious route, but like overall story wise, I don't think there's a lot of story there.
Yeah, story wise, I mean that would probably be a good one-off, or as
Exactly.
I say several times, a detail as opposed to a full what if. Like I say some what ifs work
Yes.
better as details. Because some what ifs do work better as details. I have someone on the Stev Discord here, Shiplord. I'm calling you out. He's one of the 5 Dragon Generals. He was one of the originals who came to the Stev Discord. He has a what if that he's writing about, and he's like compiling several what ifs. Originally, he had 25 different what ifs he was trying to fit into the same story. And I was, you need to back up on that, man. You're trying to get 25
That's
different ideas in one story. That's not going to happen.
that's insane.
He eventually got 4 that kind of worked hand in hand. After I
Okay.
explained to him that some of them kind of work better as ideas. Like, I'm not gonna do. This is like I did. What if Krillin was born female? Because that does have a dynamic. That does have a
Well,
dynamic.
with the way Krillin's character is, him being a girl would completely possibly flop that character, or it would have the same role but as a girl, and not having that aspect and
Right.
the fear and stuff that she does. It does change the story. The same way if somebody was to do it like with Yamcha,
Yeah, exactly.
it would change the overall impact of like their story dynamic, which would change Bulma's, which would change Goku's and all that stuff. That I don't think people really realize. Like in early Dragon Ball, when you change certain things, big things happen.
Yes. So something like, like one thing I'm not going to do that he did in this story was what if Gohan was born female? We see Gohan from the beginning. Gohan won't have a different childhood, so throw the Saiyan saga out, throw the Namek saga out, throw the Cell saga out. The only time Gohan would actually get some personality, some development, if you were to make Gohan female, would be during the Buu saga, or just before the Buu saga really kicks off, because that's when female Gohan is going to
And then
high school.
And then if anybody really feels any different, then you're really asking the what if Goku had Pan?
Yeah.
That's really the what if. When people be like, oh, what if Gohan's a female? That's really the what if
Yeah,
that they're
what if Goku
like,
had
what
Pan?
if
Exactly.
exact.
Yeah.
Which if you want to see that, like, which I think Goku and Pan have a beautiful dynamic. I think that is, I think they go very well together. But that's not Gohan. So
Yeah,
if he's a
it's not.
female, he's not going to be that. So I completely understand that. I completely understand, and I agree.
Yes.
I personally stay away from gender swapping and stuff like that, just for the reasoning that I feel like some people
Take
either
it too damn far.
exactly.
Well,
I mean, I feel like people are already taking it far. Like in my Dragon Star, whatever. Told them, man, I'm in a relationship for over 7 years, and they're like, "Oh, Dragon Star X Bulma." Like, no, guys,
No.
no. Like my mind is made up. I just got stuck in this magical world. I don't know how it happened.
You
It
hear
just
that?
happened. My minds are the same.
You hear that, girl? He gonna put a ring on it one day.
I'm sure she'll love. I'm sure she'll love watching that back.
Oh, she will. She will love watching that one back.
But we got a little bit off topic. We tend to do that in these, at least with
Because
us,
it's a discussion.
right? But let's fade into another question. Do you have one in your Discord, or would you like me to go for another one?
Yeah, I got one.
All right.
Yeah, I got one from the Shiplord. Heck, well, no, not from the Shiplord. Hold on, who wrote that? Real Sonic Jack 10. He writes a lot of a lot of these suggestions are just him. Y'all work on this because I'm gonna be saying his name several times during this discussion.
Hey man, I have a couple people like that as well.
I mean, yeah, I don't think anything bad of it. I'm just saying a lot of you are like, oh well, I'm not too creative. You're creative. Think about it. Just think about it. But this one is, what if Giro transferred his mind to Cell instead of becoming an android? So instead of putting his brain in the android body, he thought, let's grow Cell for a while, put my brain in there, just grow him without a brain, and put the brain in there. First of all, how did he get his brain in another body as it is? Like, there's a theory going around that 19 did it, but I don't want to believe that.
That's the only thing that I can assume. Or like, this guy is so smart that his brain was able to be used outside of his body.
This is Psychonauts all over again. If that's the case.
So I definitely doubt the second one. Mm-hmm. So like, I would like to think it's 19, but I really like that idea. However, I also feel like if that was the case, like, to do just a big overall before we actually get into discussion of like if it happened, I think if Giro did that, nothing like Cell's personality wouldn't be what people like Cell to be. Like, in his first form, he wouldn't be cunning and sneaking because he would be Giro. He wouldn't be in his second form cocky and thinking that he's, soon to be perfect, kind of insecure about it, kind of like Vegeta. He wouldn't be that because he'd be Giro. And when he's perfect, he wouldn't be perfect. He'd be Giro. So like, he would just be getting stronger with these transformations and stuff like that. The story would be lackluster because Dr. Giro's story was already fleshed out. What he did and his purpose was already fleshed out. So putting him in there, it would have just doled up the Cell saga to where Gohan wouldn't have had his magical moment. Them training and all that stuff wouldn't mean much because they were just beating a villain that they've already beat before. And if it happened beforehand, then it's literally just going to be the same thing, except it's going to be Cell that gives us the dialogue. And that's also a completely different scenario because that also depends on if Cell comes in like at the right time or if it's future timeline, because you could also have the actual Cell still come in, and then odds are Jiro's going to die anyway for putting his brain in Cell's body.
Right.
And then the last and final way I could see it being done is that it literally Cell wouldn't be done being created. Probably even longer now because Jiro had to go for a longer process. So it's very possible that Cell and Jiro wouldn't even be an impact until Buu Saga or after. And by that point, his powers are irrelevant. Even if he's normal Cell with Jiro's body, his powers are irrelevant.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I'd also consider changing the title. Like, not just, what if Giro put his brain in the Cell Project, or however it was, because I've scrolled up. I would just say, what if Giro was the Cell Project? Because he's an older man. He's getting old. He knows he's not going to be around as long as several androids. That's why he thought, let's make myself an android. What if he went a step further and made himself a bio-android? You know, like, that would just take out the middleman. And if we were to go along the assumption that 19 was the one that transferred the brain, 19 would be behind the project. 19 would be the main villain, and he'd be, like, the main opposition. Like, 19 would be following the orders from Giro, and he would be the main source of main source of
And
backstory as far as that's concerned.
and it works perfectly because for the time being, before he puts his brain in there, he's programmed with the supercomputer, so Android 19 could be taking orders from the supercomputer.
Right.
That's
the supercomputer still exists when it comes down
right.
to that, and Giro would not be that kind of guy that wouldn't be that kind of guy to not have a backup plan. You know.
Right.
He would.
I mean, he clearly has multiple. He clearly has multiple backup plans. Yeah. There's literally a whole extra arc about it. There's a whole future timeline about it. There's a whole movie, a whole extra movie with three, well, basically. Yeah, three. Yeah, 3 androids.
13, 14, and 15.
And then let's not forget freaking new Dragon Ball superhero. It's going to be something based around the Red Ribbon Army. So
I'm still waiting for the when I called it on your Discord to come true. Like Piccolo's gonna be the fucking hero because Goku and Vegeta are off doing more.
And look, I'm not even if they're not doing that. It makes so much more sense what you said, because if you look about it in the little trailer preview they show you, you see Goku, you see Vegeta, you see Boo, you see Hercule, and you know the Great Saiyaman's going to be involved because they've confirmed that. Yeah. So, and they just showed them destroying Piccolo's home. So it seems like Piccolo's going
Piccolo's home to begin with. You know, like,
exactly.
I'm glad we have it because it makes so much sense. Like, oh my god, we finally know that where Piccolo friggin' lives. So
yeah, I definitely think you hit it on the head there. Yeah. I definitely do.
So Piccolo doing something. Instead of the shit hand he was getting, like, so my fans know where I'm at. I finally got through most of the Goku Black arc in Super. Super Saiyan Rage was interesting. Was very interesting to see Trunks go through that. But at the same time, I still don't like Future Trunks. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like Future Trunks.
Same.
It's literally the same thing that they did in the Android saga, where they had Trunks achieve this crazy form, and then the bad guy's still too damn strong for him. The only difference is, the ruination for me is the only difference is he actually learns how to control it and actually defeats Merge Zamasu, because that was fucking ruined for me. So, like, I see this one, I'm like, oh yay, he's just angry.
The arc starts off so strong.
It does. It does. And since we were talking about Piccolo, why did Piccolo get dealt such a shit hand? He was like, I can teach you if you want. No, Master Roshi's got more interested. Poof. Really? So you're pretty much announcing that Piccolo's fucking useless now, huh?
Right. And it's like Piccolo literally learned how to reverse it in a matter of the move first being used on him.
Right.
Just from the memory of it happening to his father.
Yeah. Piccolo would have been the best
he was able to reverse it.
it.
And then what happens? Master Roshi goes into the Tournament of Power and he uses it, and Frost reverses it on him.
Yep. Master Roshi.
I know. There's a little bit of a spoiler for you, but
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure I'll see that scene. I'm sure I will.
It really makes that whole scene with Piccolo like, dang.
Yeah. Not to mention, I could have gone without the turtle torture. Sorry, I love Turtle. Fan favorite.
But when it comes to that Giro idea, it definitely has potential. But I think overall, no matter which way you take it, even if it's what if Dr. Giro was a bio android, like if he's Cell, either way, I think it's going to play out the same.
Just about. There's no way he could have predicted Gohan, because Gohan
unless he turns good. Unless he turns good.
Would he though?
No.
I don't think he would.
Not maybe before he turns good a lot earlier, like before even the Android saga and all that stuff happens. Maybe then. Yeah. But after he starts making 18, 17, 16 and all of them, his mind's made up, man. Kill Goku.
Yeah. And he would already know that 17 and 18 are the two parts of Cell he needs to be perfect. So if that thing were to happen, who knows if it was just a giant death scenario, because nobody's Super Saiyan 2 by the beginning of the Android saga.
Right. Which, speaking of, though, since we're talking about androids and all that stuff and turning good, I did have a suggestion from somebody of what if the Cell Juniors turn good?
You see, I had that same suggestion in this list that I'm going through.
Oh, nice. So it's a good fade through.
Actually, he said, "What if a Cell Junior?"
Yeah. It doesn't have to be. I just wrote down what if Cell Juniors. I would prefer to particularly take like one, because I personally don't see all of them turning good. And if they do, then that's just overpowered by that point.
And in saying that, how timely was I to upload a video after so long? I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I did that in What If Broly landed on Namek.
Very nice.
Because remember I was talking to you about how Bulma can't possibly fucking do anything with the Cell project in a short amount of time. Can't do really much about androids. She's good at mechanics, but when it comes down to biology, not so much. Well, in that timeline, I thought a good middle ground would be an imperfect Cell Junior. So
that works awesome. Yeah. But if you do know, I know you haven't seen the DBS manga, or I assume you haven't.
I haven't.
17 actually already has Cell Juniors on the island.
I did see that.
I don't think they're like actual Cell Juniors, but they're Cell Juniors.
Yeah, but they look like Cell Juniors, so
right. So like potentially, if you take those,
you could do something with those.
I mean, that could potentially fill a slot on the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, but that would fill several slots, though, wouldn't it? Because you have multiple Cell Juniors. I mean, if you were to use the argument, let's say that the Cell Juniors, right? They are. Oh boy, this is really getting into fanfiction territory. But I'm just thinking about how.
I feel like with this story though, you'd have to take it kind of fanfiction.
You would.
It's a more of a fun story because it's like that's a scenario that couldn't happen.
Okay, so
honestly.
Okay, so follow my logic.
Shoot.
Here, okay, so the slots when it came down to the Tournament of Power. If we're suggesting that one being of these Cell Juniors were to all be there, let's take a page from the Namekians from that other universe, because they have Namekian DNA in them, and Piccolo is on Earth. They could use a wish to go to Namek in order to teach all 5 of these Cell Juniors Namekian fusion. Bam, you have one fighter. Like, think about
that itself is very cool.
Yeah.
But let's not also forget that these Cell Juniors, they could just as easily learn fusion as well.
They could, but like I was thinking about something that's more permanent, like, because
oh yeah, absolutely.
What would happen?
Absolutely.
What would happen in the middle of the tournament? Okay, I could probably answer what would happen. Grand Zeno and Grand Zeno number 2 would probably be like, oh yeah, this is fun. Yeah, they became more than one person, and just not do anything as far as universe.
Yeah, he wouldn't care. They would allow it because it looked cool.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. Well, people are like, and anytime I do a what if that involves the Tournament of Power, and they're like, oh, they couldn't fly. But like, no, they literally start flying halfway through because Zeno's like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
It's like he literally throws out the rules. He's like, as long as you don't fall off the edge, basically, you're good.
Yeah, he's happy about it. As long as he's happy about it,
I mean, Kefla uses freaking Patara earrings.
Yeah.
So
they're allowed to get away with.
That's an outside object.
They're only allowed to not get away with murder. That's all.
Right, and even then, if they do, like, they're just gonna get murdered and erased anyway. Right. So like, why does it matter?
Right. So that's why I was thinking about more of a permanent solution, because it would make sense getting into the tournament, as one person.
That would be very cool, because then you could instantly, probably, if you scale their powers just to what they were, just times them all together. Odds are they at least be to where freaking what? I'd throw them probably in the Gohan Piccolo range. Like, I wouldn't put them over there, but I'd throw them in, they'd be in the range. Plus, not to mention if they do some of the training, because I'm pretty sure they don't have to eat. So they could throw them in the time chamber with Goku and Vegeta before they go in.
Right. I can see that. But that does have some promise as far as any Cell Juniors being involved in Dragon Ball Super. That'd be interesting.
And then it would definitely help out like with the later arcs with like Moro and Granola and stuff. Strictly not because like there's more. I mean, just yeah, because there's more Z fighters.
Yeah, because
That's
there's more Z fighters.
so. I mean, it's a good thing, and he would be a very strong one with very capable abilities to freaking regenerate,
Mhm.
freaking use any of the people's on that he's fighting with's techniques. I mean,
Right, right.
he's definitely a good one, and it does have potential. It could definitely be used. It would just be a matter of it's not really a story more than how much the Cell Junior would impact the rest of Dragon Ball Super. So like he would help give Goku and Vegeta like an extra breather that could end a fight shorter. But overall, that's another thing that the impact of the story isn't going to be as immense. Now, like how you said, we could have super cool moments like them going to Namek and learning the Namekian fusion and fusion. I really like those ideas.
Yep.
That those are the ideas, the details that make the what if work.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But it would still overall, I think, would still end up being a one shot what if.
it would be a one shot, and it would have to be on another channel because I try not to do a whole lot of fan fictiony stuff like that. But I don't mind like.
I don't either, so I understand.
Yep.
I got a couple good ones that are gonna shock. Gonna be some kind of shocking ones. I definitely I have one to end on as well. It's going to be beautiful.
Well, when it comes down to the different what ifs that both of us have, clearly this fan, Real Sonic Jack, I told you I'd be saying his name multiple times. Real Sonic Jack 10, he obviously is a fan of my What If the Dragons Were Swapped videos. Because he has suggested, what if Beerus and Champa were swapped? So what if Champa was Universe 7's God of Destruction, and Beerus was Universe 6's?
Okay,
Don't see much changing.
I see differently.
Go on.
I see differently. Okay, so I think Battle of Gods would basically start off taking place the same. However, we are first going to mention that Beerus, although got mad that he didn't get pudding, Boo is dying right then and there by Champa for not giving him pudding. I promise you. So that in itself is going to turn all the Z fighters against Champa.
No,
However, maybe
I gotta Schmidt put the objection in there.
no, it wouldn't necessarily turn them against him, but it would keep their lookout that he was literally that strong to like in a snap of a finger. So they would be more on guard at least to jump and fight more than what they were against Beerus.
Okay.
Because Beerus was more just upset that he didn't get pudding. Champa's going to kill for that pudding.
Then Champa would end up deleting himself. Because keep in mind, yes, we have the Supreme Kai.
Oh, I definitely think I want to point out this. With them switching, Universe 7 is screwed.
Yeah, Universe 7 is screwed.
Because I'm getting at, yeah, we'll probably see the Super Saiyan God and all that stuff. It'll be more out of fear, though, than it'll be out of, we're going to have a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Champa's not much of a fighter. Beerus
right.
is more of a fighter.
Right. So if he wants to fight the Super Saiyan God, it's just strictly because he knows how strong his power is. So the only time that Champa probably would want to fight would be in a big, strong fight that would be fun for him.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're wasting his time. So we might get the Super Saiyan God, but after that, I don't think the Super Saiyan God would be that much of a reason to keep the planet alive unless he gets the food. So let's say it does carry on. He's not training them. He's not training them. And if he gets Vados too, that wouldn't be until they go to Universe 6, where Beerus is more than likely training Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale.
Yeah. This is where my objection would have come in.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why Shen, the Supreme Kai, even got the position as Supreme Kai is because all the other Kais, what happened with Boo and all that. As is revealed in the manga, a certain Supreme Kai, the one that's actually linked to the God of Destruction, still exists in Majin Buu. So, in deleting Majin Buu, would he not delete himself?
No, because he would be connected to the Elder Supreme Kai.
Oh, the Elder Kai.
Yes, the one that Beerus traps in the sword.
Oh,
Which I imagine the same thing would happen.
Okay, objection overruled. There we go.
I think that's a tricky thing because there's so many Kai, so it's like
I know. Which one is it?
It's like, are all the Kais connected to Beerus, or is it just like the Supreme Kai? Which the Outer Kai was the Supreme Kai before Shin, so I think that's right. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure either. So that one's definitely a toss-up. But either way, it ends in tragedy for our heroes. Because Universe 6's Saiyans already have so much more potential and they're training with God Ki. So they're about to wipe the floor in the Tournament of Power. Like Jiren and everything, they're about to wipe the floor. Especially if Kale and Caulifla fuse, then yeah, they're wiping the floor.
Yep. All in all, I think the whole swapping the different gods, I mean, yeah, Champa has a very different personality to Beerus. The Super Saiyan God probably wouldn't be as pronounced when it came down to that. But, ooh, actually, that would make Beerus the Universe 6's. Would he still ask Universe 6's Soothsayer about a Super Saiyan God, and then the Saiyan planet comes into question? Because if we look at Universe 6 for a second,
it's very
Saiyans had it a lot better than Universe 7 Saiyans.
Well, that's what I was getting at. It's very possible that the Universe 6 Saiyans would be training with, more than likely, Beerus.
Yeah, because Beerus wants a Super Saiyan God.
Right, and he would probably have more than one over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're going to be overpowered.
You know what? A scene just thought, okay, the more we're going down the Universe 6 route, okay, imagine this, all right?
The Universe 6 route it's really what if Beerus was Universe 6's destroyer.
Yeah.
That's what this what if is.
Yeah.
Because Universe 7 screwed.
Yeah. Picture this, because this is how I see it, like, kind of going out in my brain. Again, I think it works better as a detail, but when it comes down to it being a what if of its own, like you said, Champa would delete Majin Buu. All right, let's say Champa deletes Majin Buu and he doesn't delete himself, and he sits there wanting more damn food or some more shit's gonna go down, and he's gonna do that. He's not as much of a prick as
he don't care. He doesn't really care about the Super Saiyan God as much as he cares about food.
Yeah, and Earth has the most amazing delicacies ever. He's beaten his brother on that front. Well, all of a sudden, this giant glass cube comes out of nowhere holding two young Saiyan, or let's say one young Saiyan, Kaba, and Beerus and Vardos. Or Vados. Voldemort.
Vados.
Yeah, Vados. I say Vardos, I don't know why.
Because everything when Dragon Ball has an R in it.
But then, Beerus says that I want a Super Saiyan God and my Saiyans are too weak, yet somehow you still have Saiyans in your universe. So we're going to have a deal here, Champa. It's going to end up being an argument between the two gods until...
It would have to be a competition for Champa to really do anything.
Right. So that's where the Universe 6 tournament is proposed, before Frieza even comes to Earth. Because Beerus wants his Super Saiyan God, and he wants to test the power of Universe 7 Saiyans.
Mm-hmm. That'd be the only way it would work.
Mm-hmm. And without Super Saiyan God, Universe 6 wins! Because Goku wouldn't have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Vegeta wouldn't have Super Saiyan Blue, they'd be fucked against Hit!
Right.
Either way, seeing the Super Saiyan form that isn't in his universe, Beerus would be impressed and wants to learn more about it because he wants a challenge. That's the whole reason the cat woke up.
Mm-hmm. Whenever Champa wakes up, it's because he want to eat.
Yep. So I can see
Boy,
that one have promise, but again, it's more of a detail. You'd have to really push the envelope into Universe 6 to get that one
absolutely.
off.
Absolutely.
You're good.
Okay.
Hey everybody, StevDes here. I guess not here because the video's there, so past Stev here? Time travel's confusing. Anyway, thanks for watching this 2-year-old StevDeScussion. Sorry I didn't get it out sooner, Dragonstar. Some of you might be confused as to why it ended 10 minutes earlier than what I said on the community tab, and I've got a good reason for that. I want to involve you all with the new format. So this video is, it's 35 minutes. So, with the more dynamic style, I figure you all might want to sit through a longer video. So the next part of this discussion will be 55 minutes long. Not quite an hour, but by adjusting both parts by 10 minutes, the day of releasing this, I can get an accurate representation of what you all might like more. This coming Thursday, part 2 will be released with a 55-minute time span. Immediately following its release, a community tab poll is going to go up. This poll will allow you all to tell me if you prefer a shorter discussion or a longer one. The results of that poll will determine how StevDeScussions are done on this channel in the future. Recording times, guests who might prefer short videos over long ones, how much editing has to go into the project. These factors and more are going to determine how prevalent StevDeScussions will be in the near future. So make sure you vote in that poll when it comes up on Thursday. I'll also be reminding people on the StevDeScussions, so please join up there. We have a really good community, and I want to do some more Jackbox soon. Thank you all for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe for more. And, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.